Yo, what's good? We back with another episode of Canaan Talks, you feel me? Today we going to talk about submission. Why would a woman be submissive to a man? Traditional women, of course, they used to submission, but now modern women, why they want to be submissive, why they don't want to be submissive, we just going to dive into it, you feel me? So nowadays, when you say submission, most women look at it like, oh, that's crazy. I'll never be submissive to a man. Or they say, oh, a man got to know how to lead first. Or it got to be a reason for them to be submissive. And I agree with that part because a lot of men may not have their shit together. But for the men that do have their shit together, women can't wait until you 35 and you've never been submissive a day in your life and say, oh, now I'm going to be submissive because, oh, he has everything I need, he's a good person, or whatever the hell long laundry list they be giving. Because it be like, all right, if a woman going to be submissive, she can't be submissive to no broke nigga. You got to have your own crib, got to have your own car, you got to have significant income that you could be able to take care of yourself. And then in their mind, you got to have money that you could take care of them too. So for me, a lot of women, they take care of themselves, don't get it wrong. But when they get in a relationship, that's the first thing they're going to say. Why they fucking with you if you can't do nothing for them? You feel me? If you ain't paying a bill or rent, or car insurance, or something, it's like they just basically fucking you. You feel me? Because they're not getting nothing out of the transaction is what they really saying. You feel me? So it's like, for men just want that level of cooperation. Because like, when you're dealing with certain women, it's like it's always like a argument. It's always like a fight for power. Like, you got to get it, though. Understand it that a lot of these women, when they single, they build up their whole life. They work for years and years to attain wherever they get, whether it's a bachelor's degree, master's degree, feel me, doctorate degree. Some of them go to school for 8-10 years extra, you feel me? And then they might climb up the ladder in their job and stuff and obtain their car and their new house and all this stuff on their own. And then out of nowhere, when she meet a man, you think she's just going to want to be able to submit to him and be like, oh, we doing what you say? Or in a sense, feel me, like they've been doing everything on their own. So when they meet a man, they're not just going to be naturally inclined to just give in to like certain things she say. Like, they've been the boss of their whole life. So it's not like you're not naturally inclined to just let somebody take control of your life, because that's kind of what submission is. Not in the slave sense, but it's like you basically giving in, you feel me? And they were not going to feel comfortable with that. A lot of them not going to feel comfortable with that. So I understand from their perspective. But from a man perspective, we're not looking at it as like a nigga trying to control your life. We're looking at it as a nigga just trying to have a little bit of cooperation, like that feminine energy. Certain females, they're so used to being in control, used to being so masculine, that when they get around a man, they say, oh, but you not trying to lead. It's like you don't even give a nigga a chance to lead. You scream masculine energy, like you can feel it radiating off you. Everything you do or everything he said, you try to challenge it. You feel me? Now this is what did he make 6 figures and he's a good financial candidate, because it's always gonna come back to finances at the end of the day. If a nigga can't provide, you can't even call him a man for real. Like, be honest, like the way you look at somebody, if they can't provide for themselves, let alone you, you're not gonna really look at them as a man. So if a nigga don't even got his own crib, he live with his mother, feel me, he gotta ask for permission to bring somebody over. Or if a nigga don't even got his own car, what if shorty get pregnant? You can't even take her to the hospital. Like, you gotta call an Uber, you gotta call paramedics, like, yo, come get us. Like, that's not it, you feel me? So you don't think a woman gonna submit to that, especially if she got her own shit? No way, you feel me? So a lot of niggas got to get their shit together for real, you feel me? Like, I think most men is distracted by chasing women instead of chasing their goals, you feel me? Because if more men chase their goals, they could be in that top 10%, you feel me? That top 20% of men that make over $100,000 a year. That's 6 figures, you feel me? Because essentially, you can live off 50K. You could live off 60K. You don't need $100,000 to live for yourself. But now you're talking about taking care of somebody else and bringing a family into the picture, you feel me? And all the other things that could come up, you feel me? Things that you're going to have to take care of. How can you do that with low wages? You can't. Like, you're going to be on food stamps, or you're going to be doing the bare minimum, you feel me? And no woman is if she has a choice, she's not gonna choose that. If she can choose to deal with somebody who's gonna pay her rent, her light, her water, her car, her phone, and still give her good dick, like, she gonna pick that, you feel me? Why would she just settle for a guy that could fuck her and not pay her with no help her with no bills, like, not take that stress, that financial burden? Because we all know week after week, month after month, paying bills is not an easy thing, you feel me? So everybody is working hard, so you could lift that burden off her shoulders is definitely going to change her mindset. The way she act towards someone who lifts certain burdens off their shoulders versus someone who is just there fucking them is totally different. And every man know that shit. Like, if you ever had a shorty and you paid her rent, or you don't even got to do all that, but you paid her a significant bill, or she was in a bond and you took care of that, the level of, like, energy, it changes. Like, the way she look at you, it changes. The way she act for you, it changes. Like, she might wake you up with head or start doing all this other shit that she know you want, but it's because you put her in that space, you feel me? If you ain't put her in that space, listen, first and foremost, if you ain't got it, don't be trying to do that shit. You trying to pay somebody bills and your bills is fucked up and you ain't got no car and you ain't got no insurance or you ain't got all this your shit together. Don't be trying to take care of motherfuckers. And a lot of women, they looking to get taken care of. Granted, they might not be traditional women, but you got to know what you getting yourself into, you feel me? You can't be out here trying to quote women that want to be taken care of, you feel me? Like, every woman can say they could do it for themselves, granted, but if they had a choice whether they want a nigga who can help them or a nigga who can't help them, they gonna want a nigga who can help them, because they know a nigga who's doing for her, she gonna get to keep all her money she's making at the end of the day, you feel me? And he's just taking care of all the financial burden that was already on her along with his own, feel me? So why wouldn't she choose that? She's gonna choose that 9 times out of 10. Now, it's a difference between them thinking that they deserve it or feeling like, oh, why I don't deserve it, you feel me? Because they might not look at it how a man look at it. Like, you might say, all right, you want this 6-figure, this high-earning one that's going to take care of all the bills, but he's going to look at it as what he getting in return. Are you the baddest? Do you bring peace? Do you bring a certain level of energy to him that makes him feel like this is going to last long term, and he feel like he can have you as a confidant, somebody that's going to be in his corner, that you're not going to go and leave as soon as things get rocky, feel me? These are something men think about, you feel me? You want to know that you want to be at a certain level of peace, but he definitely going to want to hit something that's one of the baddest, beautifulest women too, you feel me? So if you out of shape, if you, feel me, if you got a bunch of kids, different baby father drama, baggage, you can't feel some type of way if a man don't want to deal with you because you got 2 kids or you got 1 kid or you a little overweight or whatever the case may be, because you don't want to deal with a broke nigga. You feel me? That's like me saying, oh, yeah, I know you bad, I know you look good, I know you got all your degrees, I know you getting a lot of money, you doing your thing as a woman, but this broke nigga over here like you, and I think you should give him a chance. You gonna look at me like I'm retarded, you feel me? So it shouldn't be like backlash when a nigga say, all right, I don't want a woman with 2 kids. I don't want a woman. If it's 1 kid, some niggas might be okay with it. Some niggas don't want a woman with a kid at all. You feel me? It just depends on the person, the situation, depending on how you make them feel. Because in this day and age, it's all about peace. You feel me? You want to feel like you have peace with that other person. You don't want somebody to come into your life and bring drama. When you have peace on your own and you meet somebody, if it's any level of drama, you gonna be like, why I need this for? Because you was feeling better when you wasn't with them, you feel me? So it's like, but if you with them and they bring added peace, like you feel like they making things easier for you, like certain women do, they make certain things easier for a man. They turn that house into a home, you feel me? It's not just like, because certain women, he'll come home from a long day of work or whatever, providing for the family, and food is there, like, that shit is like, some women feel like it's crazy that they have to cook for a man. Like, what he needs you for? What he needs you for? Like, if you can't do little things to show him that you appreciate him, like feeding him, like that's like what is it? That's one of like the basic things of life, like food, shelter, water. He's giving you shelter. and providing for shelter, but you can't even feed him. Like, and you probably feeding him with the money he's spending anyway. All you gotta do is cook the food. You feel me? I don't understand why a lot of women nowadays they feel like it's like, oh, it's too much to cater to a man. You feel me? Like, it's enough to let him hit. It's enough to give him head. It's enough to let him slut you out completely. But you draw the line at cooking for him. That don't make no sense. You feel me? And I'm not getting on the women. I'm just keeping it 100. Like, you gotta look at it from both perspectives. You feel me? A lot of niggas ain't in position to basically take care of themselves and take care of women wholeheartedly, take care of all the bills. Feel me? But the women that's looking for men that can do that, you gotta understand that those men have a lot of options. If a nigga make 200,000 a year, 100,000 a year, whatever you want to say, feel me? You think you're the only shorty that want to deal with him? Imagine how much women is going to be in his DMs. Imagine when he pull up in that Bentley, or he pull up in that Rolls, whatever he pull up in, the BMW, the Benz. Imagine how much women is going to be attracted to that. So you know what comes with that. You know, don't get me wrong, every nigga ain't going to cheat. There's some that's going to be faithful, you feel me? But you gotta understand, niggas ain't work that hard for no reason. Niggas work that hard so they can have the best of the best, the pick of the litter, all the options. When you look at the baddest shorty, she got the pick of the litter. She look at her DMs and she could choose from football players, basketball players, entrepreneurs, lawyers, anything you name, you feel me? So when women is the baddest, they got the pick of the litter when it comes to men. When niggas obtain a certain financial status and economic value, now they got the pick of the litter, you feel me? And if you always going for the person with the pick of the litter, you gotta be understanding that you are an option, you feel me? And now you have to compete, you feel me? If a nigga holler at the baddest shorty, she got like 20 niggas on her phone already. Soon as you pulled up on her, she had one man and another one that's like a close second. I know women that got a man for each bill: rent, light, water, phone, car insurance, car payment, groceries, even the children's stuff, you feel me? And that's not his kids, none of them, but they got a man for everything, you feel me? And them niggas pay them bills every month, you feel me? I don't know how much of them she's sleeping with, but I'm saying she got a nigga to pay for each and every one, because a lot of niggas be beta, a lot of niggas is doing that. I'm not about to be paying for no shorty shit if I'm not cracking her guts, right? If I'm not hitting that shit, that's stupid, but to each his own, you feel me? A lot of niggas gotta get their shit together though, you feel me? Because when you get your shit together, you'll be in the best position to have things the way you want it, you feel me? So that's really what the gist is about. Don't expect no one to be submissive to you if you broke. That's the whole thing. You gotta realize money run the world. Love can't pay no bill. I never paid a bill with love, ever. Say, oh, I love you. Oh, don't worry about your rent. You good. Nigga, no, nigga. You gotta fucking, you feel me? You gotta really, really put in work and get bread. And once you finally get bread, you think you wanna put it into somebody who you know that's not gonna be there for the long term, or somebody who won't even listen to the little things you say or won't be on the same page as you? Because if a nigga get himself to a certain place, he's not gonna get with somebody and put them over his goals and put them over what got him to that place, you feel me? Like if a shorty ride with a nigga from when he don't have nothing and they build together, that bond is going to be a different level of bond versus if somebody you just met. Once you put on all this work for 10 years plus, you put on all this work and you finally obtain this status, you finally obtain this money, you got the house, you got the car, you got a network of resources, like from everything, whatever you name. Feel me? If you're an artist, whatever, music, sports, barbers, people who work in newspapers and magazines, as man keep on growing and networking, he got all these different resources when he becomes a wealthy man, and when he got even a substantial amount of money, you feel me? Because when I was trapping and I had my bread, it's kind of crazy when you start to make a certain amount of money, how much different people you meet. Like, you meet people for everything. That's because you have the money to dish out for services for any and everything, no matter what it is. Oh, I need somebody to do event planning for this party. And when you meet the event planner, they introduce you to so many other people who they done planned events for, and they could be in the field that you studying. I was trying to make a cologne, feel me? And they is talking about, oh, they know somebody who done already made their own cologne. They could put you on through the steps and certain shit, certain things that you gonna go through in that business, you heard? But long story short, what I'm saying is, when a man make it to a certain level, all the women that he meets now, they're kind of like disposable. Like, he's not solely invested into just one, saying, oh, you're my everything, versus how he would be if he met her and they built together. I gotta put it like this. If you're a sports fan, right? If you're a sports fan and say you play in the NFL, there's a guy playing in the NFL. For 10 years he played in the NFL. He never made it to a Super Bowl, right? And now his 11th year, they grind out all season, make it through playoffs, make it through the wild card, divisional, conference championship. Now they in the Super Bowl, right? And the week before the Super Bowl, they signed somebody on the team. Say there's a roster spot opened up. I don't know, somebody got sick, somebody got released, whatever. A roster spot opened up, right? Boom. Now, they signed somebody that was a free agent on the team. And next week, they win the Super Bowl. I guess they played a part, but it wasn't super significant because obviously all the pieces been in play the whole season for them to even get there. So long story short, they signed somebody and they win the Super Bowl, right? The way you gonna celebrate with this person that just got here a week ago, and the bond that you gonna have with this person that just got here a week ago after you've been putting in work for 10, 11 years is gonna be way different versus if that person got drafted when you got drafted and y'all been on that team for 10, 11 years putting in work and y'all seen each other's growth and development. You've been with each other from when people was dying. Like if loved ones died or when you was broke or when you was just in turmoil, because everybody go through depression, anxiety, they go through ups and downs. So that build and that bond that you have with somebody that been with you for 10, 11 years as y'all both continue to grow and build, it's going to be way different from the person that just got here last week and they're like, yo, we won the championship. You know, look at them like, oh yeah, like, my nigga, nobody really care about you like that. Like, you could leave any day of the week. We not really invested into you. That's how the team going to look at you. Like, we not really invested into you. Yeah, you here, you played a part now, but this shit already been built up. That's the same way a man will look at a woman if he already done build up all his success just for you to come when he finally successful. You feel me? I feel like a lot more women should try to build with a man versus just, and you got, granted, women got to see men that got earning potential, not no bum ass nigga that ain't have a job in years or he just selling some bud and he's inconsistent. It's not like he moving pounds. It's not like he, feel me, moving bricks and nothing. The nigga just trapping and making a little fucking selling ace or some shit and not making no bread. Like, you gotta be trying to deal with somebody that's got some significant earning potential. You feel me? I'm not telling women go deal with drug dealers. I'm telling you, whoever's successful in your realm and moral thinking of ethics, feel me? Or not even successful, but on the path to being successful, because there's nothing wrong with that. But waiting for somebody to get successful for you to want to deal with them, that shit lame as fuck. Because a lot of niggas, when they not on shit, they holler at bitches front of them, but bitches don't deny them. They be like, no, I'm good, But they watch niggas' story, they see niggas on the gram like, oh shit, this nigga doing that now? All right. So when the time finally come around, they like, oh, hey, long time no see, how you been? Shit like that. And now the nigga, he's so happy like, oh, I always wanted her, she's bad. But she done got ran through by mad niggas that you been wanting to hit that, you feel me? And she done got a kid or two or whatever the case may be, the whole open, you feel me? That shit is bun out, you feel me? That shit is done. But long story short, she still look good, and now she wanna come deal with you, feel me? Cause you up there and shit. A lot of niggas still hit, but they gonna do her dirty. They not gonna value her the same way as if she would've built with the nigga from the beginning, you feel me? And that's what submission really come to, because if a woman build with a nigga from the beginning, it's much more likely for submission to occur, you feel me? No woman is gonna build her whole life up to be a boss, get her money, have her car, have everything she need, just to deal with another nigga who probably on the same level or making more than her, whatever the case may be, but for him to try to control her life. And that's just what they feel like. they used to a certain level of control, you feel me? So it's not gonna be easy. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not gonna be easy for her to be like, yeah, she'll let you pay the bills, but you telling her, oh yeah, don't go out Sunday with your girlfriends, we going to do this instead. She looking at you like, nah, I'm going out Sunday because that's what I want to do. And what you gonna say? Like she the ruler of her life. Every girl is, but some women have submissive energy where they be like, all right, he want to take me to go somewhere else. He want to take me to go this. Some women have it where it's like what they say goes. You feel me? And you got to get on their page. But as a man who looking for submission, you want somebody to get on your page. You feel me? And you don't notice the difference. I feel like certain things, certain factors apply with that shit too. Cause I notice like when I date women that didn't have their father in their life, feel me? Like, you know what they say, daddy issues. Women that didn't have their father in their life, they don't submit to no man, or they don't even feel like they should like listen to a man and like what they say goes type shit. They be on some shit like that because obviously they was raised by their mother. Their mother had to play a strong role, feel me? And their mother in turn taught them to be strong, you feel me? And then sometimes too, it's the same thing with men. Because if a man, he didn't even have his father in his life, he don't really know what it's like to be a man. He don't know what it's like to provide and protect and set the standard so that she can feel safe enough to allow you to lead. Feel me? Because if a woman see that nigga could take control or whatever, they want to be up under him. I guarantee you. I've had instances where I was dealing with women and they wasn't on no submissive shit. But I also had instances where women was like up under me, like they on my type of timing, you feel me? Like they allow me to lead, you feel me? They want to be led by me, you feel me? They see what I'm doing for myself, and they be like, damn, if I could do that for myself, I could do that for them too, you feel me? They know that if they with me, they ain't gonna have to worry about nothing financially. They ain't gonna have to, if you with me, you good for everything. Like you don't gotta pay for nothing. Like as long as you with me, it don't matter where you are. You could be in a whole nother state, and I'm like, what you doing today? You feel me? Oh, word, I'm gonna send you the bread for that. And that shit just, it put them in a different mode. And a lot of niggas, they might think that's tricking, but bro, that shit is not tricking. It's a difference between making shit comfortable for the people you love versus tricking. It's just, you just met a bitch and you saying, oh, here's the Chanel bag. You don't know this bitch from nowhere. You buying a bitch a Chanel bag. That's a different story. And it's a certain level of money. You spend up $100 on a bitch you just met. That shit ain't nothing. You feel me? Like, oh, let's go out to eat. That's a date. That's nothing. But when you spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a bitch, that's a different story. You feel me? You gotta really know it's a different line between that. And you gotta have it. If you don't have that shit, don't be worrying about no bitch. Get your shit together. As a man, it's important to get your shit together. Feel me? It's important. Like, no bitch wants you if you don't. Yo, I swear to God, I don't care how you look. You can probably clap some shit. You could probably hit a bitch. You feel me? You probably could get some pussy. But you not about to be. She not about to want to deal with you. And you shouldn't even be wanting to be up under no bitch or have no bitch. You should be fucking getting money, bro. You should be putting yourself in a situation to be successful. And you can have all the bitches you want. Feel me? But as a man, bro, sometimes, nigga, on some real shit, this ain't even on no funny shit, but it's like, the way I feel, like, I gotta get my money together, you feel me? Like, I feel like I can't even function if my bread is not right. Like, I don't even want to talk to a bitch. Like, don't talk to me. Leave me alone. Bitches be hitting my phone up and I just ignore it because my bread is not right. I'm trying to put myself in position to be successful. When I'm where I'm at, I'm gonna hit you back. Don't worry about it. Feel me? But I can't, nigga, my dick don't even get hard when I'm broke. Word to me, bro. Niggas be broke bums and wanna fuck bitches, wanna chase bitches down, bro. You can't be doing that shit, bro. Niggas gotta go hard with their dreams and their goals and their aspirations. You feel me? You gotta have a certain level of ambition. You can't wake up and just smoke and not be productive and then thinking shit just gonna fall in your lap. Or when one of your mans make it, you thinking, oh, he supposed to do for you. No, nigga, you gotta do for yourself. How your kids gonna look at you saying, oh yeah, my dad gotta get money from the other nigga? No, how your bitch gonna look at you when she say, oh, her husband gotta get money from the other nigga? You feel me? And it's not gonna be good. You feel me? You gotta put yourself in a perfect situation by working hard. You feel me? It don't matter what it is today in this day and age. Anything you do, you could be successful at it to the point that you make millions, or just to the point that you are, feel me, comfortable, and the people around you is comfortable. You feel me? But as far as submission goes, no woman want to submit to a broke nigga. That's first and foremost. You feel me? As a nigga, you gotta get your shit together if you want a woman to submit to you. For women, I feel like they try to turn submission into a bad word, but it's not a bad word. It's just knowing, it's just allowing a nigga to lead, and you feel me? And just having a certain level of like, a certain level of being cooperative, you feel me? Like, it feel like we in gender wars nowadays. Like, niggas and bitches is beefing. Like, women and men is beefing, you feel me? And it's like, we against each other, you feel me? So when you get in a relationship, y'all already at odds, you feel me? Because people don't know, like, oh, what's this person trying to do? They trying to get over. Oh, he not trying to pay for my bills. Well, why is he going to pay for your bills? You present a certain level of feminine energy that he want to take care of you? Or do you come off as, I'm that person and I don't even need no nigga, You don't need no nigga, but if you want a nigga, you want a nigga, he got to feel that he wanted, you feel me? Because he ain't just going to be out here throwing money at you for no reason, paying your bills, when he could just be taking care of himself and living the same way he been doing and fucking man hoes, you feel me? Or find another lady that's willing to be submissive and cooperative, you feel me? Let's not get it twisted though. Submission is not a bad thing, man. That shit is actually something very peaceful when it's in relationships, if people is on the same page. But if you don't want to be in a relationship, if you don't feel like you need to be submissive, this shit ain't for you. If you don't feel like you need a girl to submit to you, this shit ain't for you either. But I'm gonna just keep it 100 as a nigga. Like, I noticed when I deal with women that already got a nigga, right? So when they be cheating, whatever the fuck case may be, you feel me? They already got a nigga. The way they be treating a man, it be like he's the bitch. Feel me? And it's like he submit to them, or he's on their page, they on their program. And when I'm fucking them, it's like they be submitting to me, and I'm just a nigga they just met, or a nigga they just dealing with. Like, they not my bitch, no way, shape, or form. I don't even treat them with no certain level of I want to be with you. You feel me? Like, I'm not saying I don't treat them with respect, but I treat them how you gotta get treated. You cheating on your nigga. How you want me to treat you? Like, you special, or you a prize? No, you cheating on your nigga. I'm just the nigga you cheating with. We cool, we fucking, we might vibe a little bit, we might smoke, we might drink, but that's all it's gonna be. You feel me? I'm not about to be the next dummy. Obviously, you got a dummy at the crib. You feel me? So that's just what I think about it. Like, and I noticed that women want a nigga to be a leader, or to give off that masculine energy so they can feel led, or whatever the case may be, you feel me? And whenever they feel comfortable, they will do it. But the only thing that's going to make them comfortable is to know that you can provide financially, feel me? And you not an asshole, you feel me? You ain't got to be the most charming, most nigga with game in the world, none of that shit. But if you not like an asshole, even if you is an asshole, some bitches will deal with you long as you got the money, because they know how hard it is to fucking pay for all them bills on themselves. But granted, on your quest to be a better person and shit, you're not an asshole to shorties, you feel me? They'll deal with you if your bread is right, you feel me? And granted, you can build, learn, and grow from there, but women is not submitting to no nigga that is broke. You're just gonna leave that out there, you feel me? Get your bread up, and you could do whatever the hell you want to do, you feel me? Me personally, I'm just focused on my growth and development, my success, you feel me? I deal with having a relationship in the future. I have relationships. It more so distracted me from my goals, so I'm more focused on my goals than I am chasing a female, you feel me? Because as a man, if you chase your goals, females be all on your body, crazy, like super crazy. When you chasing bitches, they running from you. Like, they don't want to deal with no nigga that's chasing them. Like, if I don't text back couple of shorties on my phone, good morning text, they gonna blow my shit up the next day. They text me good morning every day, and I don't have to text back for a week. And then when I finally text back, the energy is like they love a nigga still. Like, but when you chasing them, it's like they running from you. You text a bitch good morning every day and all this other shit, she like, oh, this nigga pressed. Stop being pressed. Just relax, you feel me? You gotta be, I don't know, you just gotta chill, feel me, and get your bread and do what you gotta do, and everything gonna fall into place, you feel me? But that's the video for the day, man. You want to shorty submit to you, you gotta get on your A game. It's not just about money, it's about being a better person too. You gotta have your bread, your shit together first and foremost, but you just gotta be a better person in and out, you feel me? You can't just have bread and treat women like shit. Feel me? They still, some of them will still deal with you, but that's not the ones you trying to take serious. If your goal is marriage or the goal is to have a shorty that you actually value and shit, you gotta get on your A game and just be elite. If you elite, they gonna want to deal with you. You feel me? And the rest could work itself out. But yeah, that's it for today, man. That's the Canaan Talks.